He was singing really poorly, so maybe the baby was dead.
Maybe. But yeah, this scene, oh my god.
Yeah. So then we go to Mira and Osha skinning rabbits, and oh, you're not skinning it right. Oh, I know how to skin a rabbit. Oh, it doesn't look like it. Oh, we're fighting. And then and Bran's like, okay, you guys both are very good at skinning rabbits. Like, knock it the fuck off. And they just keep bickering back and forth. And then she's like, so Osha's like, it's hard for me to trust her when the first time I met her, she held a knife to my throat. And Bran's like, well, the first time you met me, you had a knife to my throat, so, So then Jojen has a seizure in his sleep, and she's like, oh, the visions take their toll on him. And that is thankfully the last we see of them this episode.
Yeah. Aside from him saying...
Oh, wait, that's right. He wakes up and he says, I saw Jon Snow. He's on the wrong side of the wall, surrounded by enemies, which is a good way to transition to the next scene.
Yep.
Which is now when the episode stops being shitty. Yeah, it's like they had to get these two shitty scenes out of the way.
Let's do it first, get it done.
Get them out of the way. Although there is a Sansa Shay scene later on, which turns out okay. It sucks when it starts because it's Sansa and Shay, but it turns out anyways. We'll get there. So we learn that Jon is afraid to climb the wall.
Scared. I'd be scared.
Well, I mean, it's 700 feet tall, and it's made of ice.
If your arms get tired from holding your own weight,
dude,
you're dead.
Yep, forget it.
It's not like they have like little spiked boots that you can just.
Well, they had little.
They had spiked boot thingies.
No, I mean like proper ones.
But not.
No, they had wildling ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
stick your feet in the wall and just stand there for like 10 minutes because I'm taking a break.
So
anyway, we'll get there.
So then they talk again about him eating pussy.
Oh yeah.
Like, is this such a
Apparently, it's a big deal over on the other side of the wall.
But is it a big deal that we need to have had 3 different conversations about it? We've had 3 separate scenes where this has come up. Like, I mean, it's just, it seems like overkill.
It's what they do. Like, remember who has grayscale? Right? You gotta show the hand.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Hang on.
I guess, but
still there.
I don't know. That's different to me. To me, that's different. I just think, I don't know. Maybe I'm old. That might be it. I'm just getting old, and I'm like.
I heard in a previous podcast that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This age that.
This age that shall not be.
It's young. 36 is young. So, anyways, so she tells him that he's a proper lover. You're a proper lover, Jon Snow.
And I know you've been lying to me.
Yeah, and she's like, don't worry, your secret's safe with me. And he's like, what secret? What are you talking about? And she's like, you're loyal. I know you didn't switch sides. Like, I know what's happening here. But she's like, but I'm your woman now, and you're loyal to me.
And if you want to keep that cock...
Yeah, she's like, don't betray me or I'll cut your cock off and wear it around my neck.
Too funny.
I kind of wish that's where it went with this whole thing. Because that would have been way better.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, instead of her... Anyways. And then Tormund comes over and he's like, tell him about the climb. Like, dig in deep before you get to your next... whatever.
Before you go.
And he's like, if you fall, don't scream. You don't want that to be the last thing she remembers you. Remembers you for.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like that guy.
Oh, Tormund's awesome. Alright, so then we get Arya, and she's learning how to shoot a bow and arrow, and she's, of course, reciting the list.
Yep.
How did we not hate Arya for this?
The list?
Yeah, because it's really annoying.
It is pretty annoying, but it's like, I don't know.
Is it because she's a badass? Because deep down we know she's a badass?
And I think coming in what's coming up, we figure out that she's going to.
Yeah,
be
and I think it's because you don't hate her as a character either.
Right, but what I'm saying is like, if Sansa did this, we would be like, oh, the fucking list.
So we hate Sansa because
She's dumb.
she's dumb and she's always dumb.
Yeah.
Right.
We hear the list maybe once every couple episodes.
True.
We don't hear the list 3 times an episode.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I can live with that.
I think that's how it's tolerable.
I can live.
Yeah, but you also want to show that she's like committed to this, right?
Right.
It's still there.
Yeah, still there, Grayscale?
Yeah,
Okay.
Grayscale, still there.
Is it? Maybe check. Maybe check again.
Okay, hang on. Yeah, it's still there.
Okay, cool. All right. So
I hide my watch now.
so she's learning how to shoot an arrow, and she's like, oh, I hit everywhere I was aiming, and he's like, well, don't aim, yada yada yada. So he's like teaching her, like, you know, just pull back and let go, like, don't hold it, because
Ain't got time for that shit.
And so she goes to do it, and she looks, and she sees people coming. She's like, oh, there's fucking dudes down there. And so
There's peeps coming, yo.
we see, I think it was like 4 guys, and then Melisandre on the horses.
Yup.
And so her and Thoros have a conversation in Valyrian, where we learn that he was sent by the High Priest to turn Robert to the Lord of Light.
Yep.
This is the first time we've heard of this, right?
Yes.
So
I completely forgot about what.
so did I. So who's the High Priest?
Quite.
Right? I think this is an important question that I never asked before.
Hmm.
So now I'm asking. I mean, it doesn't matter because I'm sure they haven't been introduced and it's not someone we know, but is this something that's going to play in later?
It probably will,
Right.
because they are speaking Valyrian.
Yep.
So some of our characters are on that side of the world now.
Yeah. So she goes in after they're talking. I don't. Did they say anything? I don't think they said anything else important out there.
Not really.
So she goes inside, like into the cave, and she like looks at Barrick's wounds, and she's like, "Man, how many times did you bring this guy back to life?" And he's like, 6. And right, she's like, "You shouldn't have that power," and he's like, "Well, I don't have that power."
I just asked.
Yeah, and then he's like, I was a terrible priest. I fucked whores and got drunk and said the words, but none of it meant anything. And then the mountain put a spear through this guy's heart, and I ran over and said the words, and he woke up. So, and he said he did it not because he believed that it was going to work. He did it because Barrick was his friend, and he wanted his friend to still be alive.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Lord of Light brings him back to life, and that obviously makes someone who was kind of not really a believer into a believer.
Right.
So then she turns to Barrick, and she's like, "Man, you've been on the other side." And he's like, "There is no other side." He's like, "It's only darkness."
Mm-hmm.
So then, they're like, "Oh, why are you here?" And she says, the Lord of Light needs somebody. And then we cut to Arya and Gendry talking about building arrowheads. And so then Melisandre comes out of the cave, and Arya's like, "I don't like that woman," and they snicker. And they're like, "Yeah, because she's a woman."
Yeah. Because you're a girl.
Yeah, and she's like, "I don't get it."
Of course not.
We'll tell you when you're older.
Yeah.
So basically, turns out she wants Gendry. And they get 2 sacks of gold for Gendry, which is pretty good. I mean, after all, he's just...
Pretty big sacks.
Yeah, he's just a... he's just a fucking armor smith.
But is he?
Well... So he obviously starts complaining. He's like, you guys are a brotherhood. You said I could join you. I wanted to join you. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And then she comes over and she's like, you know, these guys are just dudes. Like, you will make the rise and fall of kings or something like that. And you're more than they could ever be. And so he's like, oh, all right, I guess. He kind of like, but she doesn't really elaborate on what that exactly means.
Yeah.
And he didn't think to ask.
No, he's like, pretty girls talking me up. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
in.
Why? Whatever.
Yeah.
Thinking with my man parts.
Thinking with my man parts. So Arya comes running over and starts giving her shit. And she looks Arya in the face, and she's like, I see darkness in your eyes. I see eyes looking back at me. And she lists off all the colors of eyes. And she's like, these are eyes you'll shut forever.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. And then she says, we will meet again.
Oh, snap.
Which is funny because given the state of Arya's eyes now.
Oh, foreshadowing. I don't
They're
know.
shut for good. What?
They're not. She doesn't stay blind.
Well, those eyes shall shut forever.
Yeah.
There you go. So now Jon Snow and Tormund and Ygritte and the fucking dude from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, with the weird eye.
Yeah. They're climbing the wall. And this looks like a really shitty climb. Like, I'm not doing this. No fucking way. I'm sorry. There's gotta be another way around. There's gotta be a way through. There's gotta be something. Gotta dig. Fuck, man, dig. Dynamite. Something. Just get one of them giants. Just get them to run at it a bunch of times and just fucking shoulder charge it. Whatever. I'm not climbing.
How to make a hole in this brick and ice wall?
Yeah, I don't think there's any brick. It's supposed to be just ice, isn't it?
Oh, there you go. And then build fire.
Build a fire.
Build a fire. Exactly. We're already smarter than all of the wildlings put together. The three of us. Actually, I think it's Mark came up with that idea. So Mark is smarter than all the wildlings.
No, Tyler said fire.
Oh, okay.
Build
I'm giving you credit.
Build like 10 fires in one spot. And just melt the wall.
Just melt it.
And you're good.
Maybe it'll take you years,
It
but
might
hey, it's
take
better
you a
than trying
while.
to do a climb.
There's
So-
a big forest behind you, you're fine.
Here's another question. Why does Jon Snow look down? He
Why
looked down. You don't look down when you're climbing?
He's a scourge.
You know what? It's like looking at the sun. You don't stare at the sun, but you do it anyways.
I think if
Don't
I'm like...
look at the sun. You're gonna
If
look
I'm like 2/3, or if I'm a third of the way up the wall, which is 700 feet tall,
Yeah.
what's that, Mark? Ballpark,
third of the way.
Yeah, like-
230.
Yeah,
yeah,
repeating.
of course. So I'm that high up. I'm not fucking looking down, man.
No.
I'm only looking up.
Yeah.
I'm only like, okay, the up is getting closer. That's it. The up is getting close. The fuck. Oh, man.
Oh my god, the up. I need to get the up.
Have you guys seen that glass bridge in China?
No,
Anyways.
I've not. But I can't stand on the glass floor at the CN Tower. So no,
I don't like glass bridge.
I can't even go near it. That glass floor, like I can't even go near it. And I remember I went on the observation deck.
Yeah,
You guys been out there?
I've
Yeah.
never been in.
It's fully caged. You couldn't even possibly fall. I had
Can't get a penny out.
white knuckle death grip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
White knuckle death grip on the railing on that
Oh,
observation deck. Man, inside I was okay, but outside, once you got the realization, like, holy shit, I'm outside and I'm this high up.
I'm getting the shivers just talking about this.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm
See,
excited. I want to do this now. I've
So-
never been.
climbing the wall is not something I would do. I do have a very strong fear of heights.
So you never did Skyflyer then at Wonderland?
I did do Skyflyer actually.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's the problem?
me and Lindsay did it a bunch of times. It's fucking terrifying. So, okay.
Go up that and halfway, I'm like, this is it, right?
Yeah. No, it still goes.
All right.
Okay.
It's the drop and the face first drop that's really terrifying.
And once you start swinging, you're fine.
Yeah, once it catches, then I'm fine.
That initial drop.
Yeah, that's no good.
Imagine being the guy who has to pull the wire.
Yeah.
No hesitation. It was 3, 2, 1. I pulled. I'm like, fuck it.
No.
Just gotta go, man.
I made Lindsay pull it. I told her, I said, if you don't pull it, we'll be up here all day. I'm like, I won't pull it. They'll have to bring us down. So, next scene, after our Freda Heights section. So Ramsey's sitting in front of Theon. Now, we still don't know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So...
You think we find out.
Right. So, he tells Theon, like... or Theon's like, I'll tell you anything you want. And Ramsey's like, you already told me everything.
No, first, Rams like, let's play a game.
Right.
You know, pick a part that from.
No, that's where it goes after that. Because that the first thing Theon says is, I'll tell you anything. Ramsey's like, you already told me everything.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, we're going to play a game. Pick a body part that you need the least. And he's like, please. And then it's not a body part. So then he's like, oh, I got it. Your pinky finger. Let's you don't really need that. So you have to guess who I am and where we are and why I'm torturing you. If you get that right, then you win. If you get it, and then he's like, the way I win is you beg me to chop off your finger.
Mm-hmm.
So so Theon guesses that he starts naming places that he thinks where they are, and he says wrong, and then the third one he's like, okay, how did you know? Like, did you see the banners? Blah blah blah. I don't even remember what the place was, but it's wherever it was, it belongs to the Karstarks.
Yeah.
And so then he says, okay, well, he's like, no, I just guessed. He's like, okay, it was a good guess. And he's like, so who am I? And he says, you're yada yada Karstark, the one who died.
Yeah.
And he's like, nope, Kingslayer killed him. And he's like, well, you're Karstark's son. And, you guys are loyal to Robb, and because of what I did, this is why you're doing this. And Ramsay sits down, and he's like, yep. And he's like, you're right, you got it all right. And so Theon kind of, like, breathes a sigh of relief.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ramsay's like, but you didn't ask me if I was a liar. Because I'm a liar, because none of that's true. And,
he didn't say none of that's true to begin with. He just said he was a liar. And
right.
I do this because I liked it.
Yeah. And then so he, like, and if you watch, like, him stabbing the finger, and, like, he peeled the skin and started, like, ripping it, and, like, it actually made me, like, squeamish.
Yeah.
And then he's like, cut it off, and Ramsay's like, I win again. So the next scene is the Frey boys come to meet Robb and Catelyn and Edmund and the Blackfish. And so they're like, Walder still wants to have an alliance with you guys, so but for that to happen, we need 3 things. We need an apology, and Robb's like, of course, I definitely owe him that. We want Harrenhal. Robb's like, well, it's not part of the North, so, when we don't need it for the war anymore, it's his. And the last thing they want is someone to marry. So they want Edmure to marry one of the daughters, who's 19. And he's like, man, why don't I get to choose? Like, Robb got to choose. And they're like, well, Robb was kind of like King in the North.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like King in the North's uncle.
Who can't shoot a freaking arrow.
Right.
Yeah.
And totally fucking fucked up that place where they were going to kill the mountain.
Yeah.
So...
way to go, Edmure. So they're like, okay, well, we need... So the Frey guys say, like, if we don't have an answer before we go back, the alliance is over. And they're like, all right, give us a few minutes to discuss it. So they piss off, and Edmure's like, no, not happening. And Blackfish gets up, and he's like, I have fucking knocked some teeth out, and you're going to do this. And, Robb reminds him of the battle that he won, where the mountain got away. And
No, but we also have to remember that the daughters that Rob had to choose the first time, none were so great. So he's probably in the same assumption, like, oh god.
well, Rob never actually saw the daughters.
No, but we saw like the daughters.
Well, what we saw was what we saw. Yeah, we don't really know what his choices were gonna be. But yeah, based on the phrase and their overall appearance,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be good.
No.
Likely not gonna be good.
Yeah.
So, but reluctantly, he agrees, and Rob's like, you're paying for my sins, and I won't forget it. I won't forget it. He won't forget it.
No, he won't.
He won't forget it.
We'll take it to the grave with
He
him.
will take it to the grave. That's the quote of the night, Mark. That's the one right there. So then we got dinner with Roose. So Jamie and Brienne and Roose have dinner. And Jamie is not good at cutting meat with one hand. Although I imagine... See, okay, wouldn't you just put the fork in your mouth and then cut with the knife?
Not Jaime Lannister.
I'm just saying, isn't this how a person would do it? I know it's probably not polite, or...
Or put your stub on the meat.
Yeah, and then use your good hands.
No, is that wrong?
Well, I mean, I guess because...
meat. Fork? Into
Just-
the whole chunk of meat.
Just bite it off. You know what, Mark? I like your idea best.
Yeah.
Knife and
Yeah.
just grab it with your
I got one hand, fuck all you.
rip it out.
So, they're discussing what to do with what's happened.
Yeah.
So, Jamie, or Brienne says, you serve the Starks. Catelyn Stark told me to take him to King's Landing. And Roose is like, well, Catelyn's kind of like his prisoner, and if it wasn't his mom, I'm pretty sure he'd hang her.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't think we want to do that. And Jamie's like, well, and then Roose is like, I don't know, maybe I could sell you. And Jamie's like, well, you know who would pay the most?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yep. And then he's like, shit, what? And then what happened? I don't even remember now. I remember...
He said something about,
Because there was...
Stop telling us, who your daddy is.
Right, yeah, because we would have thought you would have learned. But that was after, because then he's like, okay, we're going to send you to King's Landing. He just kind of yeah, that's it. That's fine. We'll send you to King's Landing. And as long as you tell your dad, I had nothing to do with your hand.
Yeah.
That it was nothing to do with me. And so Jamie's like, okay. And he's like, Brienne's gonna... Yeah, so you and me, Brienne, we're going to King's Landing, like we said. And he's like, no, she's staying here because she's a fucking traitor. So... And that's when Jamie's like, well, my father, la 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 la. And that's when...
And that's when that comes
That's when... And so we've got a little bit of a problem there. Alright, so then this scene, oh my god.
Ermengarde.
This scene, Olenna and Tywin,
Yeah.
so fucking good. So you have the two most powerful people
Yep.
arguing
Over who's going to be
in an extremely civil yet anyways. So
It's the wordplay.
right, Olenna is not happy with the idea of Loras marrying Cersei because Cersei's too old.
And I do like how they acknowledge that he's a sword swallower.
Right, I did make a note of the term sword swallower. So
Ours back too.
yeah, and then she's like, well, didn't you grow up with squires and boys and in camps and all that stuff? And she's like, wait, you never fucked a dude? And he's like, nope. She's like, not even once? Not even just having a go at him under the covers? And he's like, no. It's like, I don't know what they do in Highgarden. Maybe that's cool, but that's not how we do things where I'm from. And she's like, oh, I guess... She's like, oh, I guess just brothers and sisters. That's what you guys do at Castle Rock. And then he gets a little pissed, and he's like, that, you know, I don't even want to talk about that. And then he says, but if that is true, you know, we're gonna, you know, then Joffrey has no claim to the throne, and yada yada. Anyways, but he basically admits that it's true.
Yeah, but then he does this like because if she does admit that's true, then she's not gonna gain any power by
Right.
the whole thing. So it's like it's in your best interest to
Shut the fuck up.
shut the fuck about this as well.
Mm-hmm. So then Tywin's like, all right. So here's the thing: if you say no to the marriage, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make Loras a Kingsguard, and Kingsguards they can't marry, they get no lands, no titles, and they just fucking serve the king all day. And so then, you know, your name will fall, and Highgarden will go to one of Joffrey and Marjorie's kids. And he's like, so should I write up the order, or what's going on here? And he picks up the pen and fucking dabs it in the ink. Like, hey, I'm ready to write. I'm always writing. I'm ready to go.
I haven't written anything this
That's right. I need to write something. Give me something to write. So she picks up the pen and breaks it. Now, let's keep track of if he writes anything after that. Because now his pen's broken. So, and I assume that that's a yes.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we're back to the terrible wall climbing. And, like, Ygritte, you're so fucking dumb. Why would you put your spike there? Fucking break almost the whole wall. And see, there you go. It's easy to break. Just hit it with the little thing all the time. Just keep hitting it. Pieces will fall. Anyways. So, she hits it. Bunch of shit falls off. Although, did she ask him here if he was looking at her ass?
I think that was the previous one. Because then a piece of snow or ice falls on...
Right, that's right. Falls on his face, yeah. Okay, so this time shit gets real, and they fall a bunch. And then Pirates of the Caribbean dude is like, we gotta cut him loose! Yeah. And so he's trying to cut them loose, and... you know, Jon's swinging to get to the little ledge. And just as he gets to the ledge, the rope cuts, and Ygritte falls, but... Jon Snow saves the day because he's Jon Snow.
Dun, 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 dun.
And he picks her up and they make out on the side of the wall, which is like dumb.
Yeah, so this is where there's a ledge somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously there's a ledge now because a whole bunch of ice fell off.
I don't buy it.
I don't buy it either, but that's what they're selling.
It's flat too.
Yeah. And it's big enough that they can stand face to face and make out and not have to worry about falling.
It's a little weird. It's a little strange.
So, where were we after that? Oh, cut them loose. Oh, now we go to Loras and Sansa having the most awkward conversation in the history of conversations. And he's like, yeah, I'm really excited about getting married, and you know, I always wanted to get married, and all the people, and the food, and the this, and the that, and everything but the girl. Oh yeah, and the girl. It's like, oh yeah, girls, those are a thing. Whoa, damn it. Is there a whole bunch of... Oh no, okay. Uh-oh, what did I do? My computer's making weird noises.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, I'm good. Okay. So then we pan back and we see Tyrion and Cersei having a conversation, and Tyrion's like, "What can we do? Like, what do we do to get out of this one, sis?" And she's like, "Well, we could have them both killed." It's a good answer.
Mm-hmm.
Solves a problem.
Yeah,
they're both dead. Can't get married.
Very true.
So, and then. Tyrion, you know, asks, like, oh, which of the four of us is getting the worst end of this deal? And, I don't know, I still think Sansa's getting fucked the hardest out of all of this.
Ooh. Foreshadow.
I didn't even mean it like that. Damn it. Oh, that's funny. So then he asks Cersei, like, hey, you know, I need to know, was it you that tried to have me killed on the battlefield? And she's like, and she doesn't say anything. He's like, there's only 2 people who can give a Kingsguard an order. He's like, was it you? And she doesn't answer. So he realizes that it's Joffrey.
Yeah.
And then asks, like, you know, am I still in danger? And she's like, yeah, probably. So, and then he continues to tell her that Joffrey's an idiot.
Yeah.
Which he is, which we all know. Then it's, and then I guess she's like, well, you better go tell Sansa about getting married. So, Sansa and Shay are talking, and they're talking about the dress she's gonna wear when she gets married in Highgarden, and Loras likes green and gold, and blah blah blah. So, Tyrion comes in, and my biggest thing about this scene is, just imagine that you have to tell a girl who doesn't want to marry you, oh, by the way, we're getting married. And you have to tell this to her in front of your current girlfriend.
Who probably does want to marry you.
Right. And who isn't the type of person who's going to really understand what's going on because she's a fucking dolt.
Neither of them are going to.
So, and he's like, I need to talk to you alone. And Sansa's like, well, she could stay. She's cool. And he's like, no, I think I should talk to you alone because sometimes you think you want to hear something, but maybe you need to hear it in a different sort of way. And she's like, no, it's good. So, all right. So then we go to Varys and Littlefinger sitting in the throne room.
This is a great scene.
It was a very good scene. So Littlefinger... So Varys starts talking about the chair. You know, it's made by Aegar Targaryen, made from 1,000 swords of his fallen foes, forged from the fire of yada yada dragon, and Littlefinger's like, it's not even 200 swords. I've counted. And, Varys is like, yeah, I guess you would be the type of guy to count it. And I like that he refers to, he's like, it's the Liza Aaron of chairs. Which is, like, really good. So Littlefinger says, you know, I kind of kiboshed your whole plan with Loras. And Varys is like, well, what I was doing was good for the realm. And Littlefinger's like, what does that even mean? Like, what is the realm? And, you know, basically saying, like, it's a lie. The whole thing is just like a story that doesn't mean anything. We just tell ourselves to make us feel better. And so then we get to the realization that you know, Littlefinger knows that Roz was giving Varys information. And Mark, pay attention to me. Mark, you don't want to wear those headphones anyways. So Littlefinger says, well, you know, the person who I thought was loyal to me was giving you information. Well, kind of a bad investment. And it's a good thing I found someone who had a need for her.
Yeah.
And so he says, the one thing I like was he's talking about chaos, and he says chaos is a ladder that you climb, which was good because at the end it like cuts to them at the top of the wall, right, as he's talking about the metaphor of climbing.
Yeah.
But and I didn't write down the speech because I can't remember exactly how he put it, but it was I should have wrote it down because I wrote down all the other important speech things, but anyways. And then was it before that? Yeah, it was before that. We cut to Roz, who is in Joffrey's like bedroom.
Yeah.
Chained up and shot to death with like 4 or 5 crossbow bolts in her. Joffrey Joffrey's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
God damn it. Fuck that kid. Not in real life. He's a good actor. But fuck him on this show. God damn it. I can't wait till season 4.
It's like, I remember watching, I forgot what it was, but they showed Batman Begins and
Yeah. So, okay. So, yes, then it cuts to John and Ygritte and Tormund and Pirates of the Caribbean guy getting to the top of the wall, and John gives like that look to him because he's like, "Yo, you like cut us down." And I know this comes to a head in the next episode, sort of, but so they get to the top of the wall, and Ygritte who had made a reference earlier to like just wanting to see the view from up there. And so she looks the north side, and she's like, "Whoa, like this is pretty crazy." And then John's like, "Oh, no, you got to see the other side, because it's like way better, and it is way better. It's way better.
It's greener.
So, and then they make out
again,
and then the camera pulls back, and then we get credits. So, this was a great episode. Man, season 3 is so good. Season 3 is so good. So, I feel like there might have been news. Was there news this week? I thought there was something.
I don't remember seeing anything.
I know I read something today that the showrunners are claiming that season 6 is the best season yet. And they're like, we're not saying this just to hype people up.
I think they are, but
right.
You said it for season though. You have to.
Right. Oh, this is the best season yet. But no, so they said that this is the best season yet, and that they had some, like in earlier seasons, where some of the episodes they were a little nervous about because they weren't as strong as others. Mm-hmm. And they said that, and I mean, you can clearly tell, like there has been some weak episodes throughout the years, and a weak season, season 5. But they said there's not a single weak episode in this whole season.
So this is for some people, Simpsons season 8.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anything will be Simpsons season 8. I don't man, it's like every episode of that season is gold.
Yeah.
That was the Conan O'Brien season? No,
Conan was season 4.
Right. That season was very good.
Yeah, that's my second best season.
Yeah. No, but you're right. Season 8 is gold. Every single episode is gold. And maybe that's what we'll get with season 6 again.
I'm hoping. That'd be awesome.
Would be awesome.
Just every week you're like, oh.
I can't wait 7 days. Alright, so, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think I'm good.
Alright, cool. Well,
more weeks till the season start. I mean, I guess we should say that, eh?
What are we, 6? We're 6 weeks?
6 now, 5?
I
think, yeah.
5 or 6? 6.
6 seems about right.
6. I don't even know. Tyler, how many weeks? It's gotta be less than 6.
It's 5? It's 5 weeks now?
5 weeks, I think, yeah.
It's getting close. I can't fucking wait. And I still haven't finished rewatching season 5 yet, so I gotta do that before season 6 airs.
We're 33 days.
There you go.
33 days.
33 days, 21 hours.
Damn.
Oh
yeah, I forgot it was on the fucking site. If you want to know, if you want a day-to-day breakdown, rabbleofthrones.com.
That's where I went to find it.
Check it out. It's got a countdown for the next episode. And while you're there, you can check out all of our past episodes. If you go to youtube.com/rabblepress.
What does that do, Chris?
Well, you can check out all of our YouTube videos. We put all of these on YouTube. If you're not watching us there, I recommend you do, because then you get to see facial reactions like this, and hand gestures.
But we haven't done one for this episode.
Still there.
Oh, you get to actually check for grayscale. I mean, it's totally like an interactive thing.
Dog in this episode.
I'm good dog in this episode. I try to, or I didn't want to say this on air, but I really think that starting for season 6, we're going to change the format of this show a bit. And I think it's going to be more YouTube focused. So I do recommend, we're still going to do the audio, But
Visuals?
I do recommend. Yeah, it's gonna be like shit flying at the screen and like, you know, like.
Sorry, what was that?
You got and see now let me tell you something. If you're listening to the audio, you missed like 40%, no, like 60% of that. So go to the video, youtube.com/RabblePress right now. Right now. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're not on Wi-Fi. You fucking do it right now.
Do it
Or
right
no
now.
data plan.
Or no data plan. I don't care. Steal someone else's phone. Punch them in the face. Take their phone. youtube.com/RabblePress. I don't care. Check us out on Twitter at Rabble of Thrones. Check us out on Facebook. Facebook.com/Rabble of Thrones. And thank you for listening. Have a good week.